Hey all, welcome to my channel. I'm not sure what to say here about this. I mean, it's game two tonight, basically. It's about 15 minutes away. Um, what should we expect in the game two? I can't say much, honestly, because it's hard to determine. Honestly, everyone thought the Nuggets, or think the Nuggets will sweep the Heat, but everyone thought the Celtics were going to sweep the Heat. On paper, the Heat should have not. On paper, the Heat should not be here. Um, the real question is what happens in this game too? If Jokic and Murray play the way they play, chances are they're going to win a game two at this point as well too, and look for Miami to come to game three and probably win a game three. But the question is how much are the Heat going to lose by if they were to lose game two? And that's where the question comes down to: how badly will this? How badly will the Heat be beaten? Uh, I'm not saying they're going to be beaten. I think this is a case where I don't think they have anyone that can contain Jokic right now. The real question is, can they contain Murray? If they can contain Murray, I think then they should be able to win this game. But if they can't contain Murray, and if Butler doesn't score 30 points in this game, then look for the Nuggets to win this game. That's what I think it's going to come down to. It's between it's going to be between Murray and Butler more than anything else. Because Jokic, you're not going to contain unless somehow Jokic has an off game, which is almost rare in a ways. But the thing is Jokic, he doesn't have to score, but if he still gets those assists and rebounds and maybe even blocks and steals, it still affects the game considerably, because the man can affect the game considerably just by not even scoring, but just by being himself. But the fact that he can pass and get into sit in so many assists, that's the big thing. The real question is, can you contain Murray? Because Murray is that he's almost like that Jordan to Pippen type of thing scenario, basically. So the real question is, with Jordan, Jordan with the Bulls, if Jordan can beat you, but he can't beat you alone. He would always need someone else at that point. There are times where he can take it on his own, but in the playoffs, he couldn't do it on his own. If Pippen was out, they would have won, and he was proven at one point, on one point or another, when Pippen was out for a couple games. Jordan could do it on his own. Rodman was there, and he couldn't help him out entirely. Tony Kukoc was pretty much non-existent at that point. So it was one of those things where, in this situation, if the Heat can adapt, which they're really good at, they know how to adapt. That's the one best thing about them, is basically they know how to adapt to teams. If they can adapt to the Denver Nuggets, and basically can contain Murray and the rest of the team outside of Jokic, I think then the Heat should have the series. The real question is, can they do that? It's going to be a little tricky. This is where game two. This is where we find out in game two. Can the Heat contain Murray? If they can contain Murray in this game, and if Butler can score 30 points, actually maybe even 25 points, quite honestly, if he can score 25, and Adebayo can still get those rebounds, and still, basically if the Heat can actually get those rebounds off the boards, and as well as create those steals, the Heat should have this game two. But again, if they can't do this, it's going to be a little tricky for the Heat to come back and actually win this game. Win this series at this point. Because if the Nuggets do take game two, the Nuggets most likely will win in 6 games in this situation. But I've been pretty much wrong when it comes to the Heat, quite honestly. I've been pretty much wrn almost in the case, except for when they went against the Knicks. I knew they were going to beat the Knicks based on how they were playing. The question was with the Celtics, I thought the Heat were going to win in 6 for sure. Went to game 7 and they won in 7. And I thought if they had gone to game 7, the Celtics would win, but that's a different story. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. Please leave me a comment in the comment section. Do you think the Heat can actually win this series? Do you think the Heat will win game 2? And do you think that the Denver Nuggets are too good of a team right now that no one can stop them at this point? Not even the Heat, even if they can adapt. They won't be able to stop Jokic and Murray if they both are able to score. And the other factor is, can Butler do it all on his own at this point? And can Lowry come into play at this point as well, too? Because the question is Lowry was non-existent in game 1. If he has a decent game, do you think they could still win? I honestly think, like I said, if Butler can have 25 to 30 points and Lowry has a decent game of 15 to 20 points, then that'll definitely keep him close at that point. But with that, I'll leave it at that. If you, again, like my videos, like my content, like my channel, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you don't like my channel or content, but still watch them anyways. You're welcome to watch them. I ask you please subscribe, and you're welcome to leave comments as well too. Like I said, I do read my comments. I do respond to them when I get when they warrant a response, and they also, if I do get notified about it. I actually saw one comment actually in one of my videos. I still have to respond to it actually, surprisingly. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and unrehearsed. Until next time.